Hi, a warm welcome to all of you. Welcome to Becoming Better, the channel that shares knowledge on comprehensive personal development through great books. Do you know about the famous psychological phenomenon called the suspension bridge effect? Maybe in your life, you found yourself falling into the trap of this effect, losing sight of yourself without even realizing it. The suspension bridge effect was demonstrated by social psychologist Arthur Aron through a very fascinating experiment. The Capilano suspension bridge, about 137 meters long, sits 70 meters high, and its walkway is extremely narrow, barely enough space for a single person to cross. It's suspended by ropes made from hemp and cedar wood, hanging over a forest. Many tourists are unable to escape the terror as they walk on the swaying bridge with the Capilano River far below them and towering cedar trees jutting upwards. In this experiment, the research team placed a young woman in the middle of the bridge, waiting for men between the ages of 18 and 35 to walk by. When they approached, she would ask them to participate in a survey by answering a few questions. Then, she'd leave her phone number with them. The same experiment was conducted on a much smaller bridge, only 3 meters high, spanning a small stream. The same beautiful woman handed out the survey and phone number to the men crossing the bridge. But something interesting happened. The men crossing the swaying Capilano Bridge found the woman to be more attractive, and about half of them called her later. In contrast, only 2 men from the small bridge called her back. This experiment shows one thing. In human psychology, fear causes an unconscious increase in heart rate. If you happen to encounter someone of the opposite sex or a person who attracts you during this time, your brain might confuse the fast heartbeat with romantic attraction. In other words, external stimuli can prevent the brain from distinguishing between reality and fleeting emotions, leading to mistaken judgments. This is the famous psychological phenomenon known as the suspension bridge effect. Most people apply the suspension bridge effect to love, using it as a reminder that before you fall for someone, you need to stay rational, observe carefully, and distinguish the source of your emotions toward the other person. Or you could use this effect to create a little adventure, spice up the relationship, or even conquer someone's heart. For instance, inviting someone to watch a horror movie, going for a run together to get the heart pumping, skydiving, or riding a roller coaster. These activities all play into the effect. Of course, using this psychological effect to develop love is exciting and quite effective. But today, Becoming Better is going to offer a different perspective to show you something equally important. The suspension bridge effect doesn't just apply to love. It exists in many aspects of our daily lives, such as work, self-development, and decision-making. If you let external influences drown out the true voice within your heart, you can easily make wrong choices in life. Only by seeing things clearly, understanding yourself, and removing the influence of the suspension bridge effect can you grow, improve your life, and achieve positive outcomes. Don't fall into the trap of this effect. First, let's look at this image. The symbol in the middle of the left side of the image. Does it represent the letter B or the number 30? I believe most people, by instinct, would say the left image represents a B and the right one shows the number 30. That's because the left side is surrounded by letters and the right by numbers. But beyond the influence of these surrounding symbols, why can't the left be 13 and the right be B? There's a quote from the book, Thinking Fast and Slow, that goes like this. The human brain is lazy and easily falls into the trap of thinking within familiar patterns. If you focus too much on external voices and lose your own rationality, then you've already fallen into the trap of the suspension bridge effect. For example, everyone is rushing to buy a pair of shoes, so you quickly follow the crowd and buy a pair too. Or you see people storming the supermarket to stock up on food, and you blindly do the same. You make a decision, but someone objects, and suddenly, you start doubting yourself, feeling uncertain. Why are you allowing decisions that belong to you to be influenced by external voices? In the unpredictability of life, much like the swaying of a suspension bridge, it's hard to create meaningful change if you don't elevate your ability to think critically and break free from the suspension bridge effect. Only then can you truly shape the life you desire. Sung Shui Tao, author of the novel Moses on the Plain, worked at a bank right after graduating. To everyone else, this was an enviable job. But for someone passionate about writing like Song Shui Tao, the stable, repetitive life of banking felt like a mental prison. He ignored the surprised looks from those around him and bravely pursued his passion. Because of that, he won world-class literary and film awards with his debut novel, The Phantom with Wings, while still young. Listening to your inner voice and walking your own path is the key to living the life you're meant to have. Warren Buffett revealed his secret to success. Many people have a higher IQ than me, but I do things more rationally. You have to have the ability to control yourself and not let the outside world dictate your clarity. In this era of complex, information-heavy, and multi-valued society, we can easily be influenced by others, making decisions that don't truly reflect who we are. We need to keep a clear mind, free from the suspension bridge effect, and live life as our true selves. So, how do you use the suspension bridge effect properly? First, stop comparing yourself to others and rediscover who you are. Philosopher Francis Bacon once said, "We have become accustomed to measuring our worth by comparison, which inevitably leads to jealousy and disappointment." Each person is unique. It's exhausting living according to someone else's standards. The wise choice is to set life goals that align with who you really are. If you're familiar with Chinese cinema, you may know about the Golden Rooster Awards, often referred to as China's Oscars. Recently, at the 34th Golden Rooster Awards, the Best Actress title went to Zhang Xiaofei for her role as Li Huanying in the film Hello, Li Huanying. What's remarkable is that Zhang Xiaofei started her career playing minor comedic roles alongside the famous comedian Jia Ling, while her classmates from Beijing Film Academy pursued lead roles in movies and TV dramas. Zhang Xiaofei kept her focus on minor roles and honed her craft in comedy. Over the years, she maintained her passion for these smaller roles. Eventually, in a film directed by Jia Ling herself, Zhang Xiaofei took home the highest acting honor in China. This just goes to show, our destiny must be led by ourselves, guided by our passion and enthusiasm, not the goals of the masses. Constantly comparing yourself to others will only cause you to lose yourself. The best time to plant a tree was 15 years ago. The second best time is right now. So, stop comparing yourself to others and don't let your mind get swayed by material obsessions or external opinions. They say you need a clear head, but do you truly know how to keep your mind alert and awake? It turns out that the best way to stay clear-headed is to follow your heart, doing what you truly love and living as your authentic self. If you pour your love into what you're doing, that's always the right choice. Don't live in comparison with the material possessions or goals of others. Don't chase after what others have just because you think you should. These desires only make you a slave to the suspension bridge effect. Your mind won't be able to distinguish between what you really want and what you think you should want. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and share it with those who might benefit from it. This is the biggest support you can give me. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to catch every new video. Every week, we'll dive into a new book with Becoming Better. Thank you so much, and see you in the next video.